Coming up on News 2, Governor Kenneth Mapp made an announcement that could change the way EDC benefits are handed out in the future. Plus, has the Department of Planning and Natural Resources stopped issuing recertifications and certifications for pesticide applicators? Find out why this is a huge concern for some. Also, the latest Crime Stoppers report and what some officials are doing to address crime in the VI. Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining us on this edition of News 2. I'm Sandra Gumansing. Topping our newscast, Governor Kenneth Mapp called a press conference Thursday and made announcements that not only directly affected two recipients of EDC benefits, but could also change the way EDC benefits are handed out in the future. News 2's April Knight has more.
Governor Kenneth Mapp announced Wednesday that he rejected two applications for EDC benefits, Windward Passage Hotel and Sugar Bay Resort. Windward and Sugar Bay have been EDC beneficiaries for at least 15 years, but Governor Mapp said they failed to pull up their end of the bargain.
In the applications provided to me for the Windward Passage Hotel and for Sugar Bay Club and Resort Corporation, there were tremendous violations of law.
The territory's EDC benefits to attract investment is top of the line. EDC companies only pay 10% of their corporate taxes, 10% of the owner's personal taxes, and get full exemption on gross receipts and excise taxes. And that's just to name a few. But according to the governor, Windward Passage and Sugar Bay do not employ the required number of local employees to maintain EDC status. The wages offered by these companies are also non-competitive, according to the governor.
They are in compliance with our minimum wage standards, but again, given the amount of benefits that you have enjoyed for more than 15 years at 100% tax exemption, the wages to the employees are totally unacceptable.
And finally, he said one of the two did not file tax returns for 5 years. A company can't be on EDC benefits forever, according to the governor. There has to be a way, he said, to wean these companies off of EDC benefits in the future. Reporting for News 2, I'm April Knight.
And at the end of the conference, Governor Mapp also expressed his sympathies for those who were affected by the spate of crimes right after Carnival, both visitors and locals. Governor Mapp, meanwhile, is urging the Senate to take action on two coastal zone management permits. One is for the Schooner Bay Channel Gallows Bay project, which would allow them to dredge approximately 38,800 cubic yards of material from within the existing Schooner Bay Channel located in the Christiansted Harbor. The other permit is for the Water Gut project to undertake repairs to an existing concrete apron, construction of a new sheet pile wall, and for removal of 20 cubic yards of contaminated soil in the Christiansted area. Well, News 2 has learned that the Department of Planning and Natural Resources may have stopped issuing certifications and recertifications for pesticide applicators. The territory's pesticide trainer is concerned that this response may not be the right answer. News 2's Erica Parsons has more.
The Department of Planning and Natural Resources is holding off on certifying new pesticide applicators, and they're also not recertifying existing agents.
I wasn't even told by DPNR of this, but an applicator told me, so I did call them to verify, and they told me that was the case. Until further notice, they're shutting down the certification.
Nearly 7 weeks ago, a visiting family took sick after being exposed to methyl bromide that was used to spray a nearby condo. The family's teenage boys are still in critical condition, while the parents are in rehab. Dr. Joe Williamson runs the pesticide applicator training program locally. He said that situation is a tragic one, but he doesn't think DPNR is making the right decision.
With their recent history of how long it takes them to process policy and different things, it's very likely that this could extend beyond the four-year limit to where we could possibly even be without anyone with certification. And that's not good for the pesticide community, and that's definitely not good for the business community or the residents of the Virgin Islands.
Williamson says DPNR officials have stopped the certification so they can revamp the certification process.
I can understand that, and I understand that could be justified. They probably do need to revamp that. And I do know that they're being pressured by federal agencies like the EPA to do that. But to just put the applicators on hold while they look into this without any foresight to how long this is going to take, I think is unreasonable.
Despite the halt, Williamson says certification workshops will continue.
Well, if they can revamp this quickly, I think that would be good. I think the most important thing they can do is renew communication with me. I mean, they've admitted that they're not going to work with me, and you just cannot run a pesticide training program and the certification program separately.
Erica Parsons, News 2.
Calls to DPNR's Director of Environment were not returned by News Time. Chevron Percival, 25, pleaded guilty today in district court on St. Croix to 1 count of possession of prison contraband. As part of his plea, Percival admitted that on October 26, 2012, while he was an inmate at the Golden Grove Adult Correctional Facility, officers discovered a cellular telephone tied up in the waist string of the basketball shorts he was wearing. Cellular telephones are prohibited contraband in correctional facilities because they are known to be used by prisoners to intimidate witnesses, orchestrate narcotics transactions, and to facilitate other criminal activity, including murders. It carries a maximum sentence of 1 year in prison and $100,000 fine. Well, you are urged to call Crime Stoppers if you can assist in any ongoing investigation and receive a reward in the process. Remember to call 1-800-222-TIPS. Police on St. John's say on April 14th, about 4:30 p.m., officers were dispatched to 1029-3 Estate Carolina. According to the victim, a husband and wife arrived home about 4:15 to find damage to the bedroom window. Then they observed a male running away through the bushes carrying a white bundle. Items stolen include a Mac laptop, an Air iPad, and a gray iPad case. On St. Thomas on April 29th, a man reported that while dancing with a female at the Blitz nightclub, he felt someone tap him on his back. Upon turning around, he observed a black male with a pocket knife in his hand pointed towards him. He said the male swung the knife, cutting his shirt, and punched him. He swung the knife again, and the victim was stabbed in the leg. On St. Croix, police are investigating a first-degree robbery that occurred at the Estate Mountaintop gas station about 10:15 on June 4th, 2014. The suspects robbed 3 people, according to reports, and one was struck on his head with a gun. Senator Jean Ford, member of the Senate Committee on Homeland Security, Public Safety, and Justice, decried the wave of violence that has left 4 people dead in a 24-hour period, saying that the Virgin Islands must come together to wage an all-out offensive against violent crime in the territory. Such a war, Ford said, cannot focus on law enforcement alone, but must address the root causes of crime by improving educational and workforce opportunities. Ford said that he is completing work on a number of legislative measures addressing education and workforce issues, and called for collective efforts from all parties to address crime from a holistic standpoint, he says. Senator Tregenza Rhodes says he has renewed his request to the legal counsel of the legislature for the drafting of a bill that would make any act of reckless endangerment where a weapon is involved an automatic felony offense in the first degree. As of now, the statutes do not address the presence or use of weapons. He says he has had discussions with officials at the Department of Justice who agreed that such a law could lead to more convictions. The bill was previously submitted, but because the recent acts of daylight shooting done without regard for lives of innocent bystanders, he said, made that bill even more critical. Well, after a rigorous itinerary of meetings and tours in the states of Washington and Colorado pertaining to the medical cannabis industry, Senator Terrence Nelson says he is scheduling a press conference to present some of that information. That's on Tuesday, May 12th at 10 a.m. at the Curriculum Center. Also, the Continuing Cannabis Educational Forum will take place on Wednesday, May 27th, with 2 guest speakers from California with expertise, he says, in law and healthcare legislative report. Turning our attention overseas, the U.S. government must be more aggressive on social media to counter terrorist recruiting inside the United States. That's the message from a Senate hearing Thursday addressing the increasing threat It comes just days after authorities say 2 ISIS-inspired men attempted an attack at an event in Garland, Texas. The experts who attended the Senate hearing see ISIS militants overseas using Twitter and Facebook to develop personal connections with potential recruits of all age groups and ethnicities. One senator called for a U.S. social media war room fact-checking the prolific ISIS posts. Keeping our eye on the economy, here's the New York Stock Exchange with our stock market watch. As you can see, the Dow, Nasdaq, S&P all up, the Dow 82, Nasdaq 25, S&P 7. Well, coming up on News 2, as we reported, tourism is celebrating this month in a number of ways: cultural demonstrations, fairs, entertainment, and roadside cleanups territory-wide. How you can demonstrate your VI pride. Welcome back. Eugene Farrell, who's the Director Designee of the Virgin Islands Fire Service, is notifying the general public that a temporary ban is placed on burning and the issuance of burning permits in the St. Thomas St. John district. In the last few weeks, the landscape of the territory, he says, has changed because of increased temperatures and the lack of rainfall. Therefore, all previously issued permits are revoked until further notice. The fire service will make adjustments to the remaining time on permits that are in effect. However, no new burning permits will be issued until the ban is lifted. Well, schools are celebrating Teachers All Week, as we reported earlier. Monday was the start of National Teacher Appreciation Week, an honor to recognize teachers for their contributions. Eulalie Rivera provided breakfast, Zumba, and a pinning ceremony for the teachers. Students read poems over the intercom. One of them was Why God Made Teachers.
God understood our thirst for knowledge and our need to be led by someone wiser. He needed a heart of compassion, of encouragement and patience, someone who would accept the challenge regardless of the opposition, someone who could see potential and believe in the best in others. So he made teachers.
We wanted to make sure that our teachers understood how much we appreciated them. We can't give them cash, but we gave them as much, that we can afford to give them so that they'll know how much they're needed and how much they're appreciated.
Congratulations to all the teachers. Wallowee Hospital and Medical Center kicked off its celebration, another recognition of nurses, on Wednesday. May 6 began National Nurses Week to honor the nurses for their dedication and commitment to the community. Hospital officials hosted a candlelight service and mini concert Wednesday night. More events are planned this week, and the public is invited to attend. Meanwhile, the Schneider Regional Medical Center is celebrating their annual Hospital Week events as well, one of which is the Years of Service ceremony, and that's scheduled for Wednesday, May 13th. The ceremony will be held from 10 a.m. to 12 in the main lobby of the Schneider Regional Medical Center. In some sad news, the community is mourning the passing of a well-known and well-loved figure. On Sunday, June Archibald passed away. June was a former newspaper columnist, writing pieces with thought and humor. She was also a former radio host, gracing the airwaves with her recognizable voice. That is, until she learned she had cancer. June lost her voice, but not her kindness and strength of spirit. She shifted directions and became dedicated to the making of traditional Virgin Islands preserves, for which she was well known at the time of her passing. Condolences to June's family and her many, many friends. The St. Croix Chamber of Commerce welcomed another local business with a blue ribbon cutting ceremony Wednesday. Zenny's Latin and Local Food has been in Christiansted for 20 years, but moved from Company Street to King Street. Zenny's is the latest member of the chamber.
We are so excited to be here tonight. The Chamber of Commerce is welcoming Zinnies. Zinni has been part of the Christian Stead community for over 20 years, serving fantastic food. This is a brand new location. They've just opened up. They've just joined the Chamber, and we had our blue ribbon ceremony tonight to welcome them into the Chamber.
We are thrilled that Zinni is opening in a new location, and we wish her the very best. And the Chamber wants to support any business on St. Croix, obviously, and we want to encourage anybody who wants to go into business to contact us.
Well, as part of the annual National Travel and Tourism Celebration, the USVI Department of Tourism has planned a number of activities in the territory designed to build tourism awareness. Well, some of the events include on May 11th, Wear Red Day. All hospitality workers are encouraged to wear a red item of clothing or red accessory. May 14th, Business Networking on St. Croix at the Caribbean Museum Center for the Arts. The event features USVI Culinary Ambassador Chef Digby Stradiron and the St. Croix Central High School Jazz Ensemble. May 16th, it's territory-wide roadside cleanup. They say come prepared. Free t-shirts and water will be provided to all volunteers on St. Thomas, St. Croix, and St. John. May 22nd, it's the Cultural Extravaganza at the Franklin Powell Park on St. John. The event features DJ Lance Brathwaite, storytelling, face painting, a traditional breakfast, tasting, and much more. May 30th, it's the Cultural Extravaganza at Tutu Park Mall on St. Thomas. You can enjoy the cooking demonstrations from students at the Raphael O. Wheatley Skills Center and Chef Taj's local sushi rolls. Learning some brew making, Ola F. Muller Panatics, Sebastian Majorette's Pressure Buzz Pipe, Kenya Eugene Flip Switch, and the Dancing Flower Studio. All will be there. If you purchase a sheet of the VI lottery ticket with today's drawing date, it's a collector's item. Your ticket featuring favorite troop members, racehorses, culinary delights, and of course, sequins and feathers, all about Carnival. It was indeed culture to the extreme. With that in mind, here are the winning numbers.
The VI Lottery presents draw results of today's drawing on News 2. Here are the top prizes. Fifth prize for $20,000, 04505, 04505. Fourth prize for $30,000, 22072, 22072. Third prize for $40,000, 28174, 28174. Second prize for $65,000, 29137, 29137. And the winning ticket number for the grand prize for $175,000 is 21004, 21004. If your ticket number wasn't called, keep trying. One of these days, your number could win. The next drawing is May 21st. Play the VI Lottery and imagine the possibilities.
That's right, and good luck as you check those numbers. Be sure to stick around. Your News 2 AccuWeather forecast comes your way next.